struggle will finally end the only way it could have, with me as the victor! No, not astral knowledge, you simpleton. Psychic domination! And that still won't be possible until you destroy Desmond's jamming device!
Remove the impurities disrupting perfect guidance.
Yes, fine. Go destroy the house and its impurities. Just stop that jammer and I'll be free of you morons once and for all!
Be the instrument of your mighty will. Hello? You are a fellow seeker of the higher planes, perhaps? What brings you here? I may be the man who leads our physical affairs, but I cannot claim true wisdom. Whether it be how to explore higher planes, it is very rare that others are permitted to commune with the Master. Many are too foolish to understand the great truths of his higher mind. But I sense in you a great potential. He manifests here, high on a... We are... I know it. I am... We take no pleasure in violence. Our goal was merely to remove the ghoul. His presence is an offense to the trend.
scanning device. Honestly, those fools are... Yeah.
I knew it. I knew that little bastard was behind all this. After all these years, he's stuck his head out, and this is my chance to cut it off. Figuratively speaking, of course. Calvert is my old rival. Centuries we've played this game. I knew he'd be stupid enough to hide so close to his family home. It's not a matter of hate. It's a matter of destiny. He is my enemy, and I do not suffer any bastard who opposes me to live. I knew he was here, and it is my intent to find him and call down a righteous fucking hammer on his head. Figurative, I mean. His head. Him, I should have known. My old rival. So, he was once a man, Professor Calvert. Members of the Calvert family were influential all over the world. They practically owned a deed to the U.S. government. They even... Of course, Oh, what? You think I haven't been shot before? You'd bet. So, those half-wits are getting messages from the professor, right? So he's off. But without those buggers to do things for him, he can't do much for himself. So, we cut off his ability to talk to him, and he'll need to try harder. Maybe then I can find this squishy little worm and finish him off for good. If I know the professor, he's using a high-frequency cognitive sign broadcast. I have the perfect device to jam up that little worm's talk box. Right. Attach it to the bottom car, then turn it on and spin the jammer to the top. Now, go!
The fates. Oh, it is... All of Madame Panada's wares are top quality. Of course, I learned many tricks from my father.
It is I, Professor Calvert. Don't bother looking around. I'm in your mind. But aren't you Desmond's faithful little employee? Coming to gum up my work, are we? Well, I have a better idea. How about instead of playing his game, you destroy that nasty little device? Deposit it in the nearby trash compactor and we will never have to worry about it again. I assure you that the gratitude of Professor Calvert is worth a great deal more than that of a washed-up old limey.
Just in time. found out who went rooting around in our skulls, and you'll never guess who it was. As a totally unrelated hint, I'm in charge of his boat now. Yeah, looks like it. When the tribals would send someone to the swamp, he'd be waiting around to nab 'em when the Pungasides gassed 'em. He'd do his amateur surgery for the tribals and let us wander back, all in exchange for punga fruit to trade. Sweet little deal he had going on. Anyway, I figured you'd want a shot at some revenge, so I put him under citizen's arrest, sorta. Sounds pretty wacko, right? Well, I wouldn't have believed me either until I snuck a peek in Tobar's engine. From the look of it, he kept... First off, I'm claiming this boat. I put Tobar down, so it's mine. So that... Of course, you...
Well, if it isn't my favorite traveler. Why, when you were under, you should have heard. Why do we do anything? You travel the world, kill people, take trophies that interest you, and move on. I'm much the same. The only difference is that my trophies are somewhat more medical in nature. Oh, and to be honest, I probably kill fewer people than you do. But I suppose it's time that came to an end. Look what...